There it goes. Okay, finally. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but my meter goes off like crazy, so I do what I can to not add noise to the microphone while it's doing that. I forgot to turn my phantom power on, typically. Do this every day. Every day! And I still don't turn all my equipment on. That's the problem. You know, most YouTubers, they can turn all their stuff on with the flip of a switch. Because I'm into music, I have all the equipment that gives better quality because I like musical equipment in general. Anyway, guys, if this stream ever goes anywhere, I swear to God, y'all are going to be so burdened with hearing this often. I just wish it looked good on camera. Like, if I get it at the right angle, it disappears. Hold on. I wonder if it does. Kind of does there. You can kind of see the corner of the YouTube video. Like, if I get the mouse, you can see it right here. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. See my mouse moving? Here, if I get out of the way, you guys can see it right there. That square. Let's see if I can do it again. Come on, there it is. There you go. You can see a square right there. As soon as I put there it is, right on my finger. See that square pop up. So it just turned slightly green. I don't know why this guitar is the worst camera. It is so beautiful in person. So beautiful in person. Absolutely worst camera possible. Hey, Madness, how you doing? Let's see here. Now, oh, right, I was supposed to get the okay, hold on. I gotta get YouTube's chat pulled up. I found a better way to do this. It must be this. Okay, I guess not. Oh, I see. That's the chat bubble. Okay, I gotta pull up YouTube's now. Refresh. YouTube one. Okay, cool. This is up. It says YouTube is not receiving enough. It always does that. I guess YouTube just genuinely does not like Rumble at all, and it just lies. It's amazing to me that they can get away with lying like that. But anyway. Okay, now I can get all that. Okay, cool. Chat's good now. Yeah, I think everything's good. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to be reacting to Denims. Fair warning to you guys, she throws Frogan and Caseytron right under the bus here without even realizing it, I think. I think she's actually not smart enough to realize half the stuff she had said. I'll put it into I don't want y'all to have to wait for the info, per se. I'll probably say it throughout the stream, just so people are very consistent, you know, in getting this info. We are going to watch a portion of this video where she's literally like, but I didn't upload it to YouTube, so what's your problem? So, oh, okay, so it's not you. Go ahead and go after Frogan and Caseytron. I think Frogan uploaded everything to her YouTube channel. I don't know if she has one or not. Maybe she just throws Caseytron under the bus, right? Let me actually see. Let's go here. Let's see. Let's do. Oh yeah, I was looking up Kel Eyelids. I cannot find that video. If you guys could find the Keenan and Kel special for me, where they went to that like crazy ladies, or not crazy ladies, that haunted mansion place that they went to, where Kel literally just screams at this old lady's face that she doesn't have any eyelids. It was one of the funniest things. Oh man, what a classic! I love the '90s so much. There was nothing beat TV in the '90s. There's no era of television that's better than the '90s for sure. Nothing compares. The only thing that I would even consider, like, I guess is from, like, 2000 to 2003. Like, but I count those as pretty much still the 90s anyway, because anybody really born in 97 up still wouldn't have had that great of, like, I don't know. Well, maybe for 2003, of course. Yeah, but anyway. Let me see here. What was I, Frogan? Do you have an official channel? She might not have one. Maybe. Oh, nope, she does. Okay. Videos. Oh, Frogan's response to Ethan Klein. So actually, interesting. But this was a month ago. That's very. What was she responding to specifically? Was this the content nuke? This is only 12 minutes long. Oh, well, I'll have to watch that later on. Probably nothing to do, or absolutely nothing to do with this because, 2003 TMNT is an amazing show. Okay. So my daughter, my oldest, is so obsessed with Ninja Turtles. No idea why, really. I wasn't super obsessed, but 2003's TMNT really got me interested in Ninja Turtles. Like the original 1987 shows what I grew up with. And because I was born in 92. So that's all we had for TMNT until 2003. 2003, I was like 11, 12? Was I 12? No, I was 11. And that came out. And that was like mind-blowing to me. But it was in that same vein of like people, because I wonder who animated the 2003 Ninja Turtles, because it looks exactly like the 97 Spider-Man and 97 X-Men. Looks very, very much like that. Oh, Frogan deleted a lot. Okay, gotcha. TMNT is garbage. It's the worst. Rogan's, who's Rogan? Oh, are you talking about like the... Because my daughter really likes the 2012 version. But the 1987, is that the Rogan's version? Because I've never known him. I never knew the person who, like, did it. But the 1987 version, it just makes the Turtles, like, they're not that different. All four of them are kind of like four little stooges, kind of. They're silly, they're wacky. Of course, it's been the same voice actors through and through. Matter of fact, I got into a huge argument where we ended up apologizing to each other. What's his name? He's the guy who voices Carl Weezer. He voices the Turtles. Oh, come on. I know his name. I know it very well. If Kai were watching, he would give me that info. God dang it. I got into a huge run, and he ended up saying that he would buy me a beer. It was kind of nice. But, and I told him, likewise or whatever. Nice interaction. Who voiced Wacko? Okay, maybe it's not. Oh, wait, different Wacko. I spelled it wrong. Wacko. Okay. Animaniacs. Wait, Jess Harnell. Okay, so he doesn't voice Wacko. Who does he voice? Who's the other one? Okay, Animaniacs. Rob Paulson, that's who I'm thinking of. Yakko, not Wacko. He played Yakko, the little brother. Jess Harnell played Wacko. Okay. Gotcha. And of course, Tress McNeil plays Dot. We all know that. Everyone knows Tress McNeil. Oh, and of course, Nancy Cartwright's in there too, because anywhere she goes, she follows, pretty much. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, anyway, Seth Rogen? When was Seth Rogen a Ninja Turtle? Huh, interesting. 87, 2003. 87 bores me. I'm not gonna lie. Dude, 2003 is great. When they went to the future and stuff, oh, that blew my mind. April O'Neil actually knew how to fight somewhat. And then, who was the guy that was his name Tracy or whoever the dude was too, the more jock-like guy that was with him too. Pretty good stuff. Not that she fought well, but like, for a human, like, she wasn't just a simple pushover like she was in the other shows. And it was good. It was really, really good. Anyway, I think we got quite a few people in here. So I guess let's, Top Chat's on for this. That's dumb. Alrighty. Let's start watching this crazy lady because this is unbelievable. She really does just throw her people here under the bus. Brogan, did she used to have more? Let me see. Posts. Why I left Twitch. Oh, Pokemon quitting Twitch. Okay, a year ago. Oh, I see. Are these deleted videos? Let me see.
But even whenever she released her cookies,
she links to that.
They were great.
Arab shuffle that we.
Okay, so she has this channel. Let me see. Ethan. Rogan's response to Ethan Klein a year ago. Last time we'll talk about Ethan was a month ago. Okay, so there's so she probably definitely uploaded it somewhere here on YouTube. I'm not able to confirm it right now. I'm sure there's an archive. I'm sure she did. if she didn't, then she only threw Caseytron under the bus. But yeah, straight up throwing her friends under the bus there, I guess. Maybe they're really not friends. Maybe they don't care about each other at all. But this whole argument that Denims makes is so bad. It's genuinely bad. She absolutely does not directly address any arguments that Ethan makes. And it sucks because it's like Ethan's usually a pretty easy guy to, argue against. But these leftists, they just kind of scatter out like cockroaches. Frogan is part of a dangerous Middle Eastern cult. I think Frogan's just stupid. I genuinely don't think she understands what she spouts off. Even a little bit. I really don't think she's got a good understanding. I think she was essentially been... I don't know if I can quite say that, so I won't. Never mind. But I genuinely think she's just really, really dumb. I shared some funny tweets as well. Hey, maybe I'll... Hold on. No, not Twitch. Twitter. Okay, whatever. I missed the I. It's because I didn't have my right hand there. Let me see. I'm gonna show y'all some. I found some very, very, very funny tweets from Denims. And here we go. Yeah, Nux Taku actually liked this. That was kind of cool. So anyway, here we go. Let's read some stuff real quick. This Will Neff guy. I just got banned for watching a clip of Samurai Jack. That's on YouTube on my stream. Okay, legitimately a clip of their official YouTube. What the F is this? And then she of course responds. Can't you argue fair use that you provided some transformative content? Interesting that she's talking about transformative content. Know what I mean? Now, this was May of 2021. But she seems to not be completely stupid when it comes to how you're supposed to be reacting to content, right? Seems like there's a little bit of a brain working back in 2021. Kind of amazing. So anyway, but they're like, I mean, he could, but fair use doesn't do, anymore. So fair use doesn't do anything anymore. Okay. Well, it seems that you kind of understood that copyright claims exist and that you can't do anything about it because you can't argue against it. That's kind of interesting. No wonder you're on Twitch, but just because the platform allows you to doesn't mean that it's legal, I argued pretty heavily, and this is the funny thing about it. I've had a couple people come here going, take Ethan's D out of your mouth. Why are you defending Ethan? And it's like, I'm actually not. Believe it or not, I did a whole series of videos on this exact subject years before, or was it last year? Either last year or 2 years ago. Not involving Ethan at all. It was actually involving clip channels. I made an entire argument against clip channels that were clipping like Ricada's stream and stuff like that. Not that Ricada was arguing against it, but then he obviously turned against it. And well, not that Ricada's even relevant anymore. But, like Fair and Balanced and that whole crew. All these people, were getting clipped by other people. And they were just uploading it, monetizing it, and taking all the money. And they're like, well, it's transformative because we took a big live stream and we just cut a portion out and uploaded it. And it's like, no, that is all me still. You didn't do anything other than make a clip out of it. You didn't even comment on it. It's like, what are you talking about? That's crazy, Anyway, here's her talking to Vosh. I hear Richard Wolff is defending Coops. Kind of wish he'd give me a shout out next time he rips my ideas. And then she says, see, this is why capitalism is good. You can patent your ideas so no one steals them. Interesting tweet from 2021 because what's really, really funny? Oh, Rikita's worse than a lolcow. I don't even know if I can count Rikita as a lolcow because dude's just on dope. Like, and gone. It's like, look at Boogie 2988. Boogie 2988 has absolutely no reason to be the way he is whatsoever. All he has to do, it's amazing to me. All he has to do is just video game reviews and do some like funny videos that he used to do back in the day. If he just continued doing that, like it's not like his videos have aged badly. You go and look at an old Boogie video, especially when he smashes his Xbox out in the street. and starts pretending like he's yelling at his neighbor. He's like, what do you want some of this? You know, and just freaking out. You go back, you will laugh. It's very funny. It's not like what he was doing was difficult. Like, and he didn't have to be all that crazy original. He could have kind of, in somewhat, you know, manner, reshoot some stuff. It's just crazy. Just absolutely crazy that he refused to do that and just become the guy that he is today. It's like, what in the world has happened to you? You just don't, like, I don't know. I just can't believe it. I cannot believe that Boogie, like, took so much of a harder path than what he had to take. His path was so easy for what he needed to do to make content. I don't know. It's just crazy to watch somebody blow that up, you know? Yeah, different types of locales for sure, but I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I've always found locales to still be watchable because it's at least funny to just crap on them. Nick Rekieta, when I turned his stream on, he just looks bad. And I'm just like, oh God, this is scary to watch. This is sad to watch. And Boogie's isn't so sad because it's like, hey, Boogie, everyone's telling you exactly what to do to make money. And he goes, oh, let me scam people. Oh, let me lie about cancer. It's like, or you could just, you know, not do that. It's very easy. He didn't want to listen, though. He wanted to take the hard way out. It just blows my mind. But anyway, talking about capitalism, and here's the thing, being good, and the fact that no one can steal your ideas when you patent it. Well, Ethan patented the content nuke. So, seeing how he went and got a legal patent for it, how do you feel about this comment still there? You know what I mean? You at least knew. I know she's being sarcastic because she's like, see how capitalism's good? You could patent ideas because she doesn't think ideas should be... she sees... It seems to me she has a very Chinese way of thinking about intellectual property. She doesn't agree with it. You know what I mean? I think Rekieta might be a creep cow. Like, yeah, look at all the like blatant parties that he had with his wife, like just being degenerate in general, just sleeping around with other people. You know, I think it's creepy. I guess it's consensual, whatever. Maybe it's not as creepy. Okay, there's that. But oh yeah, he made his friend eat his nut. I don't know. To me, it's creepy. I guess I can understand, like, I don't know. Yeah, poor Rekieta. I don't know. I cannot believe he's gone the way he has. Anyway, and then the next one I think was just funny. Her totally coming onto Hassan. It's over. I can't stream like this anymore. I'm sorry. Now my ISP is throttling me as if it wasn't enough. My PC was crashing every 10-minute cycle. Sorry to disappoint you, but I have to troubleshoot this before going live tomorrow. Man, crying over a PC. I bet he had a brand new PC at that time in 2022. I built my PC in 2017, and, you know, because I'm working class, I might be able to get a new PC at the end of the year if things go well. Taking me 9 years, guys, to get a new PC. It'll be 9 years because I built my PC in January of 2017. Here we are coming up in probably right around January of 2026. You know, maybe December of 2025. Still counts as 9 years. I'm not going to sweat it over a month. Oh yeah, Voosh, that's not the only thing he likes to lick. But yeah, anyway, she goes, it's okay, you could borrow mine, come over. Shoots her shot, you know. But she was like, your connection is very fast. You know what I mean? Not her, but yeah, I mean, still. Very funny. Very funny stuff. Gotta shoot your shot, right? And that's what most of the comments on this said, too. They're like, shoot your shot, girl, you know, try. But it's like, geez, you could see how obsessed they are with the Hassan. I just wanted to point that out there. There was, were there others? Oh, they should have called it Operation Scud Missile. That's right. That would have been so funny. Nope, I guess that was it. That was it. Anyway, let's watch this. Let's react. I'll park myself over here. You know what I mean? So we can sit next to each other and have a good old time. There we go. Alrighty. Here we go.
Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably seen that Ethan Klein is now suing, although papers haven't been served yet, suing me, Casey Tron, and Frogan for what he believes to be fair use infringement or fair use violations. That's right, guys.
Cool to see you here.
That's right. The guy who saved fair use is here to kill it. And so, as many of you...
He's not here to kill it at all. He literally said that in the video, like specifically stated he's not killing anything. Like, he literally is allowing people who do what, like I'm doing, to react. This is a very interesting point, though. I want you to watch when she gets to the video, how many times she pauses and adds commentary to her video in comparison to specifically what she's getting sued for over the content nuke.
You've seen at this point, let me put this here.
And this light is reflecting right off my face hardcore.
Oh, I'm so far. Wait, let me see what I want to put. Yes, here we go. Yes. All right. Oh yeah, fair use is actually only for Ethan Klein. He saved it, but only for himself. That's how the law works. Yeah. Google.
Oh.
Grok, what's a precedent? What is a legal precedent? All right. Oh man, where to start? There's just so much to start. But first and foremost, we'll get to all of these. Okay. First and foremost, I have opened a GoFundMe for this defense suit. I've seen a lot of people. Unfortunately, again, Denims haters are not smart. They're bordering on lobotomized, and I've seen a lot.
Just denim haters in general. Just like, do you know how pretentious that sounds when you say it that way? Denim haters are not smart. So pretty much anybody who like, you could just consider that anybody who disagrees with you as just not smart. Think about what you're saying there for a second. Anybody who disagrees with you is not smart. I don't think your IQ is over 105. Just guessing. Just saying, I don't think it is. So imagine saying that out loud, that the average person who probably disagrees with you is just not a smart person. You're putting yourself so much more, like, above the average. Like, that's not something I would do. That's not something most smart people would do either. It's pretentious. Not very nice for, someone like that. But I don't think she pays attention to half the stuff that comes out of her own mouth.
A lot of people being like, can you believe it? She opened another one, even though she said she has billions of dollars. It's like, I know reading is hard. I know, I got it. I understand. But I clearly state in my tweet originally, ages ago, which people have been screenshotting, which I appreciate.
Well, let's see it.
That's dope. Hold up. I'm trying to find it. It was a while ago. But I specifically state, if I move forward as a plaintiff, I will be self-funded. And I get it. Big words here. Big words.
Okay.
But let me pull this up. I know.
Self-funded, huh? Interesting. So if you ever end up as a plaintiff, you'll be self-funded? So if go forward as plaintiff, I will be self-funded. Then why not just get rid of it now? I'm very confused. You're going to get rid of the... Are you kidding me? Like, for real? Why even set this up? You're going to get rid of the GoFundMe if or when you go forward as a plaintiff. So then you could just self-fund yourself. So what is the point of the legal fund then? Is there any reason why you have this?
It's crazy, but it's the second sentence. It's almost like if I'm pursuing a lawsuit, I can take as much time as I want pursuing that lawsuit, choosing when I'd like to pursue the lawsuit. Whereas when you're a defendant, you don't have that same ability. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, but just wanted to start with that. Maybe some people would...
Okay. So why do you need it? You could get rid of it. You could just save up and do it whatever you want. This doesn't make any sense.
Understand better if you threw the R word in there. Yeah, you're right. That was the problem. It's just like, I'm not speaking their language. But, all right.
Yeah,
all right,
they really should be getting attorneys.
Okay, 100%. Sorry. There's still a lot of tabs open. Close. those. All right, let me put these here.
She scams her
insult. Oh, yeah.
She's
in a row.
100% scammer.
He's doing this shit
that.
so he can farm these lawsuits for content on his podcast.
She's not refunding anything.
I'm going to argue something different. And I think once you guys see my perspective, you might be inclined to agree. Although that's definitely part of it, right?
That's a huge might.
Well, give me a second. Some people are also too blinded by sick fancy to understand the precedent of these lawsuits that would hurt everyone. It's suppression of critical speech that will chill future attempts to criticize creators one doesn't agree with. I think if a different precedent was set, people like XQC and Asmongold would be having a bad time. All right. Oh.
Let's just get here. I don't want to hear this.
She's carving out some space here, some creative space here for herself. Any bills
Why
or
are you blurring
personal
this?
expenses I have from lost wages.
Why are you doing any of this here? What is this? Why is she doing this with the video? In the video that was shown that you're getting sued for, you didn't do this. So did something change your mind? Is there a reason why you've changed your content? Why aren't you just sitting here quietly? Really curious. I also noticed you didn't mention anything about watching it there with you instead of supporting Ethan. Why didn't you say that again? You'd think that if you were so behind your convictions that you would do it again, saying, to show that you did nothing wrong. I don't know. Doesn't seem like you're all that confident.
Litigation. Lost wages. You mean the money you're going to pay me? Anyway, so
like having to
speed this up to 1.5.
Go to court instead of working.
You won't be able to notice too much of a difference.
I think that's the intent, anyway.
This isn't going to court. I honestly, there's no
Good
shot.
God, this is so
Ethan's
quiet.
If he loses again, Ethan's lower.
Dude, the clippers over at that subreddit are fucking hilarious. Him reading fucking hate messages.
There we go.
That's what, oh God, all right. Okay, now, trying to think of
It was quiet on mine,
I think it's pretty obvious, by the way, to anyone who's seen Ethan Klein's extended crash out, or anyone who's been part of the extended crash out universe, that this is only an attempt to hurt people who don't like Ethan. I mean, there is... I have it in here somewhere. Should be right. Where'd it go?
If that was intended, he would have sued a lot more people.
I think most of us have seen this clip. I guess like ones if you've seen it, twos if you have not seen this clip.
I'll tell you, and then I'll
Why are you blurring it?
Everybody is probably expecting me to talk about this Denims. Denims announces she's suing me for defamation, for saying that I think that I hold her personally, I personally, in my opinion, hold her responsible for the CPS thing, which is obvious based on the call. So she thought it would be wise to sue me, the victim, of her fucking insane incompetence. Stupid fucking dumbass. She's the dumbest person alive. I actually genuinely think, well, I don't know. iDubbbz gives her a run for her money. I mean, I want to destroy her. I'm going to ruin her life, probably. And the good thing about that is that...
Why are you blurring this? Why are you blurring this out? I don't understand. Why aren't you showing the video? Are you not confident that you're going to win this lawsuit? Are you not confident that you could show footage?
She's suing the victim of her crime. So, when I say I'm going to ruin her life, obviously, I just want to put her in financial ruin.
This entire thing is an attempt to silence creators that he doesn't like and to silence people he doesn't like. There's a reason the document is...
Right. No, for sure, Joe. For sure, 100%. She's definitely trying to say that since she's the defendant, she'll keep the money. If she ever decides to sue Ethan, then she'll give the money back.
80 pages long, and it's not because the document needed to be 80 pages long. The document is 80 pages long to try and hike up our lawyer fees as much as he can. Oh, I will engage in one bit.
Or they're being hyper specific.
One smidge even of
either
stun
or.
locking. I should probably have this on hand for today's stream in case I want to show it a couple times. Scroll.
Maybe it's only 40 pages too long.
Wait, hold.
I mean,
oh yeah, you gotta love these people, by the way, that are still parroting this. You made people call CPS on them. I did? Then what's this?
Address something from Denims' correction demand in her letter. The letter claims I falsely stated that Denims herself
Why is she blurring this?
CPS report, or that Denims caused others to do so. The letter also states on March 11th, I acknowledged Denims had denounced herself or anyone in her community making contact with CPS. Let me be clear. I have never claimed that Denims called CPS. I have never implied that Denims called CPS. If my statements were interpreted as stating this, I want to correct the record and make it clear that I do not believe that Denims called CPS. Obviously. Moronic. Idiotic. Stupid. Obviously. Moronic. Let me also address the point in the letter that I claimed Denims caused others to call CPS. I did not state, and I do not believe Denims made a direct call to action to our audience to contact CPS. Obviously, right?
You forgot.
Well, wait. What about an indirect call to action, though? That would be interesting. I wonder if there was more to this video. I wonder if these videos are blurred because she doesn't want to show a timestamp on it either. Kind of wonder.
To stay up to date for your Lord and Emperor. Forgot to stay up to date on that. Anyways, like I said, guys, Denim's haters are unfortunately the dumbest haters. They are. Look at this. Like, look at how stupid these people are. Nice out of context. It's like a full 1 minute clip where he gives all the context he has to.
Now,
oh my God.
If he didn't mention anything about indirect, and maybe he does think there's indirect or not, it still could be. That's a pretty strong piece of evidence against Ethan when it comes to specifically that. But maybe he knows this. Maybe he threw this in there yet again to hike up lawyer fees. He may be playing this really smart because he knows he's got a lot of money. Now, I don't like that tactic, to be honest. I really don't like that. It's like, I have more money than you, so therefore, I could just start draining your wallet and make your life miserable type thing. I think that's scummy. I think that's garbage. But again, I'm not an Ethan fan. I just like that he's taken down the exact people that Jordan Peterson literally warned him would happen. And now look at their infighting. Absolute morons.
It's actually out of context. I can tell. Oh my God. And then like this, like there's literally a full clip of him saying his words, saying, I don't believe this happened. I don't believe she called CPS. I don't believe she made others call CPS. You're coping. Do you see yourself, man? Do you see yourself?
Well, he never said that. He never said that he doesn't believe you didn't incite your audience. He said he doesn't think that you incited him directly. Hey, what's this? Hello, mate. How are you doing? I can see you have a good stream, but you have a low number of... Oh, these are...
and then you say other people are going. Oh, God. Oh, fucking Christ, dude.
I'm good.
How convenient. You didn't post the entire H3 episode.
Post.
Oh, fucking Christ, dude. Okay. But yeah, this entire venture by Ethan is, in my opinion, is pretty transparently an attempt to threaten creators and to exert his force over these content creators.
Don't call yourself a creator. You're not creating anything. Don't call yourself that. You're not creating anything here. You're just reacting to videos. What's the creation of this? Like, you've got to be a little bit more self-aware.
Even then, you need the stream before for full context. I am so SMRT.
Yeah, to try and threaten content creators like me, to try and threaten people like Frogan, Caseytron, etc. I mean, that's why there's clips of him saying, I want...
That she, just remember who shot the first shot. So, like, when I say I'm going to ruin her life, obviously, I just want to put her in financial ruin.
You know, so anyways.
Let me that would be ruining her life, yeah. That's, right. I don't think that would need
okay, moving on. Let's watch his video, shall we? Because I see a lot of people that are hopping in just now, and they're like, I'm confused. What are you getting sued for? I don't understand. I want to get into it. Let's watch his video. I think the easiest place to start would be to watch his video.
That'd be great.
And thank you so much for there's 21 days to respond, so you guys will be able to get destroying legal tender is...
Hi there.
Denims, you better not have told them the story. I did not. You can share the story. I don't want to share it. You can share it. All right, keep going. Let's go. Quick sidebar. As many people have already pointed out, obviously destroying legal tender is federal crime, which he's later claimed this is fake money. But if it's fake money, why didn't you get the $100 bills?
Wow. Very intelligent way of thinking. Who cares? So because you didn't use a $100 bill, it might not be fake. Who cares? Maybe he wanted to use ones. Maybe it would have been cool if he used a $1,000 bill, which were a real thing at one point. Maybe you could have used a $500 bill. I believe those are still a thing. Who cares? Could have been a 20. It's like, seriously, you're never going to be able to prove it. The only way to prove it is to have that exact dollar with that number on it tracked. It's just not going to be possible.
Which the controversy, in my opinion, and this was my opinion at the time, this is my opinion now. And this is
especially, what's especially funny is she's talking about like, oh, well, he committed a federal crime. Yeah, well, I caught literally Caseytron. Driving while impaired is hilarious. Breaking the law on stream. I wonder which one's worse. Burning a piece of paper, destroying a piece of federal money, which honestly, like, we need to do that about 1 trillion more times to a few dollars. You know, a few $1 trillion that we could just literally set on fire. That would be really helpful to our economy, honestly. But also, what we ought to do is, you know, well, not what we ought to do. Never mind. You're one to be throwing shade, and here your friend is breaking the law right there on video, just like a day ago. So, do you really want to compare that? Do you really think that burning paper is anything like, you know, causing a severe accident?
Opinion, by the way.
I wouldn't think so.
Which, do I have the video? I don't know if I have it on hand. I'll try and find it if I have it.
Hello, Lever.
It's the one where he says, sorry. Okay, one little stun line. I hope he shits on you in the lawsuit. Why are H3 fans...
Yeah, it's not the most interesting lawsuit per se, but it is very funny to watch these people just,
it might be in the reply to this.
Incriminate themselves.
Wholesale re-uploading of like an episode. And we used to have that big...
No, it's not this one. It's the one where he's on Leftovers talking to Hassan about it, and he talks about how like streaming is a different beast, and streaming is very different from YouTube. Let me see. I didn't save it, I guess. No, maybe I did. Maybe I did. Hold up. No, not this. This one. Here it is. Found it.
Look, I don't care about... Just get to the video.
So, same opinion that, like,
Lord.
Reasonable...
You know, for somebody who genuinely is so behind her convictions about, like, sitting through an entire video being transformative without speaking a word, she sure isn't wanting to really show this video that much and just cutting and going between multiple different videos, isn't she? Isn't that so strange? How you doing, Lever?
People have. And I'll get into
She's trying to fearmonger.
Oh, yeah. His argument is not good because it always devolves into you don't react hard enough.
Because at the end of the day, there are no clear-cut guidelines, no clear-cut boundaries on like what to do, no like standardized best practices, and the argument always will, in the eyes of the audience especially, devolve into.
I think I circumvented that pretty good. Sorry to interrupt. I'm not.
It will always evolve into you're not reacting hard enough. Obviously, there are boundaries that I think aren't established, but like most people.
Does she actually? Hold on. I wonder if this is an edit from because I just realized. I did just kind of think about this. This is a fan-run edited clip account. This is not actually her account. I do wonder if the fan clip does this.
Most people understand are bad.
Maybe.
However, especially if you're doing like long,
might not be
content,
on her.
Especially if you're doing live stream content without.
Well, we'll
like
see. I'll check it
because you have your own version of that as well.
If it's on her, I'll be re-uploading videos.
Lulls and moments of like dead air, or even you getting up. But that's also live reaction.
Here I'm talking, and I made it clear. I'm talking specifically about his YouTube channel. I wouldn't make this claim. Okay, well that's something I made clear at the beginning. So so we're talking about his YouTube channel. Now I would never claim that about streaming because I agree that streaming is too much of a gray area.
There's a longer version of this clip, but basically, it's not necessarily the streaming that is the most offensive part. Morally, it's the not legally. It's the re-upload to YouTube.
Now she's going to argue morals here, guys. If you're in a disagreement, she doesn't understand how law works very well. You're not always going into court to make a cut and dry argument. Sometimes you're going into court that will actually literally change laws, okay? That's why there's an appeal system. That's why there's appellate courts. There's, in general, laws can be very vague, okay? So when you go in there, this judge very well may be like, you know what? This is, how am I going to describe it? The judge can make up his mind and say, I think the law shoots in favor more of this way than that way. And that could be the judge's opinion, but he rules on it. And he may even just all around overwrite another judge that has a similar case and say, no, when I look at the law like this, this seems better. So it really can be up to the judge's discretion here completely. So while she's talking here going, well, I'm not arguing from a legal perspective, I'm going to argue from a moral perspective. As if that changes anything at all, because judges try to make laws based on morality. You know what I'm saying? That's what they try to do. They say, what is the most morally ethical thing that we can be doing? Because that's how laws are supposed to be. Laws are not always that way. In fact, the majority of the time, they're usually not, it seems, unfortunately. That being said, she's going to argue from a moral perspective, which is so stupid. Because a judge could still look at that and be like, well, this is how you feel about it. And it could still incriminate her. It doesn't matter how she prefaces in any way, shape, or form what it is she's about to say. She's still going to say it, you know?
YouTube that absolutely does funnel views away from people's YouTube channels. When you have the same exact thumbnail as someone who spent months on a video, you have your video gets like millions of views, like some percentage of those views, considering that it's on the same platform, that is absolutely
the left one and the right one.
Funneling some of the revenue over to the other video, which is why it's the wholesale re-upload to YouTube like within 24 hours. And I talk about this as well in this video, but I don't want to get too deep into it until we get there. The market segment that is Twitch viewers and the market segment that is YouTube viewers, there is a distinct difference between these. And one of them is, what would be the best wording to use? One of them is irresponsible. The blatant re-upload to YouTube with like 20 minutes of additional added content, and it's the same exact thumbnail, and it's the same exact title, that absolutely is hurting the original video in the algorithm.
Okay. Yeah. So again, throwing Casey Tron under the bus here, you know, for the most part. Right.
Versus the lack of uploading, versus like a Twitch stream. So, okay, we'll get into it because he pulls it up, and I don't know why he
Here's the problem, though. Here's the problem, though. If people are wanting to watch his full video, and they go to Twitch, and they go with you to see the full video, Especially the timing. And here's the problem. Content nuke drops. All these people were streaming this content nuke not days later, not after the video peaked. Usually they're streaming it within the hour. That's when a lot of people are flooding to the internet to watch and see what's coming on. These people, a lot of them would have wanted to see Ethan's argument. And that took away money from him. Because they went to see your reaction to it instead, because they have notifications. Oh, that new content nuke dropped? Oh, Denims is streaming it. I'll watch that instead. See how that could be an issue? Don't think so at all? Probably took away his number. It probably took away a good, 100,000 views.
In, but we'll go through it. Back during the peak era, back during the worm, dude. Worst worm I've ever seen. It's a type of worm. Okay, it's a type of worm. Okay,
no, she's a fake
sure, let's find out. Let's find out what you think.
I mean, they all are. All right. All of them are capitalists.
Someone think of CNN.
Every
won't someone think of
CBS
News? Hassan had the audacity to stream for 8 hours.
Extended periods of time.
And he had to pee. And he had the audacity to steal from small creators like Fox News, CBS, CNN. I'm just like, finally.
He's not. All these people are adding something to it. They're adding commentary. You know what I mean? They're actually pausing like what you're doing now. Do you notice what you're doing? They're doing that. But you didn't do that in the content nuke.
Somebody is exposing this bad behavior.
She just does not acknowledge this at all. She pretends like she didn't do that.
Sorry.
Real communists would get a bladder infection for CNN.
Once done like, you're so dumb. It's not that hard to get your yours correct if you're trying to insult somebody else's intelligence. For the love of God. Oh my goodness. All right, back to the video. My favorite part about this is this doesn't even show that he's leaving on content necessarily. It just close-ups of him getting up. But this is all of Ethan's content. He doesn't actually prove the points that he's trying to make. He just kind of shows his audience the things that he knows they will react to. He shows them the colors and the shapes that they want to see. And then he's like, anyways, you guys can believe me. I'm sorry, but the...
Actually, he did. He had a timer. He has a timer on the screen for when these people get up. He shows Hassan getting up a lot. He shows how many times he did it just within a month. But he shows timers, especially on your guys' stuff.
Like Yagami, this was actually my plan all along. It was actually my secret this was always the plan all along. I made this irresistible bucket of poop and I left it out. I knew.
Does that make you a fly? Because you flocked right over to it?
It would be so good. Oh
Think about what you say before you say them, lady.
So one thing that's misrepresented here, among a variety of other things, by the way, is this point that this person is making. It's not that he's stealing content. Is not that he is stealing just content, but leaving the videos after he goes and leaves the chair. Okay, so let's rewind for a second. We're 4 minutes in to when he brings up Lemino, which was the guy who made this really good Kennedy video, and a lot of people watched the video, and then their uploads got re-uploaded and blah, 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 blah.
That freaked me out.
You can even hear what this guy has to say about the matter. He's talking about the ethics of reacting. He is not talking about the legality of reacting. I'll play it. And this is why it's so sad to be an H3 fan. He doesn't even respect you enough to try and clip things in a way that is believable. He just sort of shows you the shapes and colors and hopes you don't actually try too hard to understand what's happening.
Ethical nor necessary to feature the entirety of someone else's work.
Notice how there's no commentary here and there's no focus on the legality. Watch the whole thing.
A fake fan in the corner or the occasional interruption does nothing to address that issue. My video is still being played from beginning to end in someone else's stream or video. It's neither ethical nor necessary to feature the entirety of someone else's work. Or you
okay.
And ask for permission.
I guess I'll...
Will
this help at all?
He's talking about... Why would he ask about... Why would he comment on whether or not streamers should ask for permission?
Whatever.
He doesn't say legally they're required to ask for permission and they don't. They're very clear.
Okay. What he's talking about in general, the guy who made that video, he was very, very upset that, was it XQC? I think it was XQC watching that video. And he sat through the whole thing without making a single, adding anything to it. Just showed everyone the full video. Wasn't even there for half of it, apparently. And it's dude, that is such garbage. At least talk about some of the parts, add something to it, bring up other theories during the video. There's ways for you to watch a video. And when somebody goes down another theory, be like, I haven't heard of that theory. The theory I heard of was this, this, this. I wonder if these play into it or something. And, while they're talking about something, you should explain the parts too. And if they start explaining it, maybe skip that. I don't know. Actually show some knowledge. You don't have to show the full video, per se. Look at what I did during this react. It's hey, I'm trying to get to the meat of the points here. I'm pausing. I'm adding content to this video. This video is going to be way longer than hers. In general. So, no, I guess not a whole lot longer because I am in a little bit of a hurry to... I only get a couple hours to stream, unfortunately, for now. Things will change here soon. I won't say when or how, but things will change soon. And, if things go really, really well, people like, subscribe, and share, and all that good stuff, then, yeah, absolutely. This obviously will change the more that happens. Because then I don't have to return back to my factory job. Anyway, so it's just wild to me that she's not able to comprehend, She's not saying it's illegal. He's just saying that it's immoral. He could sue XQC for this, okay? He really could. He just hasn't. But it's so disrespectful anyway to just re-upload somebody's content with just you sitting here going, that's just not content. That's not content at all.
Clearly talking about the ethics of reacting. And here, we'll make this on a grander scale. If you check your bank account and Chase accidentally refunded you an extra $50, you might look at that and be like they were supposed to refund you for some charge or something, and then they accidentally gave you another $50. And you see that and you're like, I didn't see anything.
Okay.
Listen, they can correct it. They can find it themselves. They can correct it. I don't really care that much. All right. I don't really care that much. If some old lady on the street is like, hey, do you have change for a $10 bill? Nobody carries cash around, but do you have change for a $10 bill? I just need to pay the meter. And she hands you a $50 bill instead of a $10 bill and says, oh, times are so tough right now, but got to pay the meter. And you keep the 50. See how one of those feels morally worse?
That's great. Both of those are equally illegal. That's, I don't even know if it's equal. I think you actually get more trouble from the bank, But is what it is. What a stupid comparison. Maybe just don't steal people's stuff. That's probably better. Maybe stealing's just bad. Maybe that's not how we should live. You know what I mean?
One of those feels like you're stealing from...
The reason why corporations exist like that, to where they steal from people in general, or are just bad, is because people like you exist, where you think that it's okay to steal in general. You could justify stealing at any given point in time. You can't. You don't have to steal. Ever. Especially in the United States. And when these people are like, oh, well, it's just these people trying to feed their kids. Nobody in the United States has to do that to feed their kids. We give away free stuff. If she needed... If a mom's trying to steal stuff for her kids, if a dad's trying to steal food for their kids, they actually don't have to at all. There are plenty of places out there that just give it away for free, completely and totally. And they don't go there. They don't do that because they want to steal.
From someone who does need it, or you're stealing from, I don't know, not a corporation. One of those feels worse. We're not talking about legality. It's theft regardless. We're talking about what is morally worse. That's why nobody gives a shit about stealing from corporations. And so that's the same thing that's being talked about here, that the morality, or how ethical it is to react to a video made by one creator who's put in hundreds of hours and who's put in a fuck ton of their energy and time into a video and put in so much love and heart and soul and blood and sweat and tears into a video, and you straight rip it, add 20 minutes and then re-upload it to YouTube and your video gets millions of views. That feels shit. That feels like absolute shit. Do you think the news anchors at CNN morally, do you think not morally, sorry. Do you think that they feel bad when they see Hassan streaming their content? Do you think they're like, but I work...
Oh, no, I'm sure they're very upset about it. They don't like it because they're a corporation. However, what Hassan does is completely legal most of the time, as long as he doesn't leave his chair. You know what I mean? If he's actually giving commentary. Dude, this is what's wrong with y'all, okay? Oh, what? He should be allowed to do that. No, because if one of them, if a big company sues and wins, you've destroyed every type of React permanently, because they're going to go overboard with it. They're going to go overboard with it, and they're going to go way past the means of legality, and they will always do it in the favor of the corporation that's paying them. That's just what's going to happen. You will ruin it for everybody because you were selfish and greedy. Now, again, if these three girls were to just apologize to him, and Ethan wants humiliation, and he wants them to know that they can't do it anymore. If they were to give in to that, he probably would just drop the lawsuit entirely. They'd be fine, and then they could go back to their normal reacts, and then they could react to Ethan's content like she's doing now.
Worked so hard on that. Of course not. Of course not. And to the people that are saying this,
with you
totally
changing your format to do this?
You actually, I know that you're just in here to be a shitter or whatever. This won't hold up in court. Did you notice how I literally said this is not a legal argument?
Small creator.
We're not talking about legality. We're talking about ethics. We're talking about morality. I know listening is hard. Critical thinking is hard. I explicitly just stated 5 seconds ago. We're not talking about legality. And by the way, neither was this guy who
this is what she's talking about right here. We're not talking about legality. We're talking about morality. It doesn't matter when a judge sees this.
Quoting. So it's just bad targets, not actions. When did I say anything?
He's going to know that
I'm just
this is
talking about how it feels to have your content watched by a creator versus like being the news anchor.
And here's the thing about it. Why would you ever divide legality from morality in general? everyone should strive to have laws that are for their morality. And a judge is going to understand that. Like, hey, this is how you think, so, there's that. I need to see what microphone they're using here. This is quite a popular microphone and has a lot of side cancellation. Just like my my boom mic over there. So I should probably look into that. I like my Rode
Twitch watcher content. This has nothing to do with legality. This has nothing to do with the law. This has nothing to do with fair use. And ReactGate was not about legality. ReactGate was always about morality. It was always about that. And you'll see it time and time again. But honestly, maybe I should write this text on the screen. But keep that in mind, okay, chat? Keep that in mind. When watching this and watching him recap ReactGate, keep that in mind, all right? But you are getting sued legally. We're watching a video. I'm pointing out all of the hypocrisies in his video. The major hypocrisy that I'm pointing out, which I don't know how this is difficult. I've just explained this like for the 7th time now. He is trying to pretend like the conversations that were happening during ReactGate. Okay. The video. Why are Denims haters so dumb? Dude. All right. Also,
Denim haters, they're so dumb. They're just so stupid.
All this stuff, okay? Alrighty.
Here's an excerpt from a sticky...
I don't know how long it's going to take. But for the love of God, when she gets absolutely sued, it's going to be so funny to watch. It's going to be so funny to watch to see whenever, like, this ends and she just completely goes down.
Sticky post from the Snark subreddit. Hey, everyone.
Your average views are like 3.5K. He's even lying about that. LOL, what? When did the lies stop, dude? When will he stop lying? When?
The Snark...
This has nothing to do with me. And he knows this, but the thing is, the document that he published is for viewers online. It's not for a court. There is no court that would take this and say that this is collusion. I have no DMs.
Yeah,
like,
she can't critically think.
There was no attempt by me, at the very least, to reach out and try and provide this. Like, has nothing to do with me. Did you work with the Snark subreddit? If not, then how are they aware you were viewing the nuke? Because I said I would watch it because he was hyping it up for weeks and saying, this video is going to be so good, it's going to be so good, it's going to be so good. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch it. That's it. Just like the same way that everybody else was going to watch it as well. How did the Snark subreddit know about your top secret viewing of the nuke, Denims? How did they know? All right, let's keep going. Well, guys, as much as I would love to talk about how this isn't what he's saying.
She's like trying not to really watch his video, though. You can tell she's genuinely uncomfortable with watching his lawsuit video. She just does not want to have much to do with it.
It is? This is, in fact, not what he's saying it is.
Solidarity in the fight.
You guys will get to see it play out in court. Okay? All right. Again, as much as I would love to get into it, you guys will get to see it in court.
People like XQC and Asmongold may have watched the entire thing, but I would never sue them just for doing that. I don't want to...
Why would you say this in your video? Again, guys, I really...
It's very simple. If you actually listen to the full thing instead of playing that little segment, I can tell you exactly what he says. He literally says... I would not want to come down on these people because these people pause, they add content to that, they add their opinions, they talk throughout it, they do not just play the full video without talking. It's very, very clear. When they react, he says there's fair use to this because the video is not about everyone watching the video. Everyone's coming to see your opinion on the video he uploaded. And that's very specific because that audience isn't coming here to watch Ethan's video. They're coming here to see what I think about his video. That's what he's saying about Asmongold, or about Tectone, or about Nux. Any of those guys. Pegasus. All of them, when they react, they actually genuinely react and give their opinion. You know? Hey, Ed. Hope you're doing well, man.
I really wish I could litigate this on stream with you all, because there are sections, it's not entrapment, there are sections of the lawsuit that sort of talk about whether or not the work is transformative or not, and there are opinions about whether or not, because this is a big thing in fair use, on whether or not you're supposed to like watch the...
but yeah, anyway. Clearly she doesn't do that. She just sits through the video and doesn't say a word. That's pretty ridiculous. That's a ridiculous comparison, but she's pretending like that didn't happen.
Bare minimum or something like that, but I don't know why he would admit that he doesn't care about people like XQC and Asmongold watching it in its entirety.
It's because you sat here and did not say a word and encouraged people to come watch it through your stream instead of his video. You told people, do not support the video. How is that any different than uploading a Pokemon game and saying, do not support them, download my game instead? You know, download the bootleg version. Or not even the bootleg, just the full copy, the ROM version. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't have access to the older ones, because we should, because they don't resell them. But, like, you know, Nintendo's just got that issue badly and frustrates me. But all that being said, you cannot do that. There's consequences. You cannot just go download somebody else's stuff and re-upload it as your own. And that's pretty much what you did.
All right, this was really bad. All right.
Actually, that's exactly what you
guys,
did.
And then he plays again. He's like, that was so epic. I got to play it again.
I'm suing are. I just want to make it clear that they all met this very specific high bar of criteria that I
not true
set forth.
Wait, how do you know that? How do you know that? He's going to talk about the criteria. He's going to specifically state the criteria, right? You never showed it in the video. So what do you mean it's not true? You didn't show his criteria at all. That's wild. He's like, hey, they all meet this criteria that I've set out. What criteria? When did he mention any criteria? Why did you delete that? Let me specifically tell you what she didn't add to the video was the fact that he showed how the 3 creators did not say anything during the videos. They had long, viewings of the videos without adding anything to it at all. And they also, all 3 specifically said, do not support Ethan, do not watch his video, come watch it here instead. You didn't show any of that. That's interesting.
Forth earlier. These people were not targeted based on beliefs.
I actually respect.
Let's see. Let me see if I can pull that up. I think it's a little bit before. It's at the 7-minute mark, huh? Because I do want to see it. Let's see. Ethan Klein. Okay. Let's see. Videos. Oh, did he upload a new thing? Oh, wait. What's this? What is all this? Loving the reactions to the lawsuits. Stream today. Oh, this is his stream. Never mind. I'm on the wrong channel. We should probably watch that later. Maybe we'll do that later on. Here we go. Videos. So, it's right around the 7-minute mark here. I think it's, what is the does he say it beforehand? What is the
devastating precedent that could endanger our entire field? Now, before I tell you who the 3 people I'm suing are, I just want to make it clear that they all met this very specific high bar of criteria that I set forth earlier. These people were not targeted based on their gender, their identity.
Set forth. Okay, so what was it set forth? He said earlier. So let's see. Let's see what it is he had stated.
The thing about copyright you should know is that you got to register it before you publish to be eligible for statutory damages and infringement lawsuit. Well, I'm happy to tell you guys now. I, Ethan Klein, Hassan Piker content nuke with the United States Library of Congress to a lot more creators and rake in millions of dollars. But the purpose of this is not financial gain. People like XQC and Asmongold may have watched the entire thing, but I would never sue them just for doing that. I don't want to chill the reaction community into fear. Actually, the opposite. I hope that we can all unite against this type of egregious behavior that not only makes us all look bad, but could destroy the commentary community as we know it.
Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow.
This is all
subscribe,
the context of
the state of reaction content on Twitch is so broken. These creators feel comfortable looking right into a camera and saying outright, "Hey, I'm stealing this guy's content. Pay me instead of him." This is not a healthy environment. And with people like Hassan reacting to entire TV shows on stream, my fear is that Sony or Disney comes along, sues everybody, and sets a devastating precedent that could endanger our entire field. Now, before I tell you who the 3 people I'm...
Okay, here we go. So this is his high bar of criteria, okay, specifically. That's what she cut out of the video. It's interesting that she cut that out. Why would she do that? Interesting, right?
When I could go
or
after
at least
the stupid
person
sexy
who
Arab
made
ladies
the
I claim
clip,
to have a vested
right?
interest in financially ruining.
It was
Seems
a total
interesting
coincidence that I went after the people that I did. It just so happened that I went after those people. Oh, it's not...
he never said it was a coincidence. He gave you criteria. He gave you very specific criteria.
So...
One of the criteria he mentions, before I go on any further here with this video, was specifically watching the video all the way through without adding anything to it. Only 3 people did that. They just happen to be women. But only 3 people did that. Unless you want to prove him wrong and show video of other people doing it.
So bizarre. I want to find something for all of you that I think was pretty good. Wait, I want to find this. Hold up. One such example. But there are I wanted to make an easy block list for anyone who wanted to go ahead and block a bunch of, absolute morons. So if you would like an easy block list, this tweet.
I'm not saying he'll be successful at the lawsuit at the end. What he's going to be successful in doing is draining her legal funds completely. I think he will be able to do that. But he also is able to show that there was malicious intent with them. them advocating for them not to fund Ethan, and them purposely advocating to make sure that he loses funds, because that was their intent on it, was we don't want him to make money, let's try to sabotage. That's got to be worth something, I would think. Because most of the time, when people violate copyright, they don't ever admit that they're like actually doing anything. In this case, these three women have openly admitted that they're actually trying to damage Ethan financially by re-uploading his video, more or less, I guess. Not exactly re-uploading it, but you see what I'm saying. They wanted people to come to their streams instead of giving him money and giving him the view counts and stuff. That is sabotage to a degree. You know? I think it's a lot easier to fight than a normal copyright claim from YouTube. Most of these copyright claims from YouTube will just go nowhere because it's so hard to define how much you lost. But with this, when they're showing intent, like, yes, we are trying to damage you financially, then it's like, okay, that kind of goes to a different area.
I left replies open, 1.5K replies, easy block list. The number of replies in here that say skank, whore, OnlyFans.
Let's see. You should probably shut up and let your lawyer handle this, or don't. LOL. Where are they at?
And
interesting.
Etc. I think we all know, Ethan, the audience that you are
F around,
trying
find
to
out.
obtain. Okay, I think we know. To pretend like the people that you're suing.
Okay, that's interesting. So first of all, you're just blaming anybody who comments on there as a bad person. Second of all, you didn't even show a single comment that does that? Wow.
Just happen to be women, and that there isn't a very obvious desire to obtain viewers that are the most sexist people possible. Just be real for 2 seconds, okay? Just be real. You're on X. What do you expect?
So automatically it's sexist, and you haven't proven anything involving sexism whatsoever. That's great. That's a smart thing to do. You're really showing your intelligence.
He isn't even on there. He's not on there because he can't handle criticism, which he's admitted. There's a clip of it. There's a clip of him saying he can't handle the criticism, which is why he doesn't use Twitter anymore. But it's also in my YouTube comments, in his YouTube comments, in my Twitch chat, and in my Instagram comments. Literally, probably thousands at this point of comments that are anywhere from whore to probably the worst would be like a rape threat. I know, chatter. I know thinking is so hard. Listening is so difficult. I know. So you can't sue because you're a woman? What logic is that? Listen, the BoJack Horseman, that's very fitting. Listen, what I said, I'll explain it slower this time since you seem to be a little bit slow. What I said was, he's targeting women who...
He's targeting women? No? Can you prove that? Can you prove he's targeting women? Like, specifically? That he went... You gotta provide some proof that he specifically went after a woman because they were a woman. That's a claim that you made. You have to provide some evidence.
Who have less money because A, it's easy to target people that have less money than you in lawsuits, but B, because he's trying to obtain a very particular audience, which he's successfully obtaining, an audience primarily of people who hate.
How do you know he's trying to get a particular audience? Do you have any evidence of this either? You're just making stuff up. That doesn't help anybody. That makes you look really dumb when you make things up.
Women. I know, that was hard to understand. I just showed a tweet showing a bunch of sexist comments, and then I showed his commentary saying it's not about them being women, and that was really hard.
Wow, okay.
To follow, but yeah, these 2 points are connected. Use your brain.
How do you connect those 2 points? Here is a blue rag, and here is a yellow rag. I guess the camera thinks it's more green. And they're both the same rag because they're rags, so they're together. What are you smoking, lady? That is some dope, like, that's someone on dope trying to put 2 things together. And that usually ends badly. That usually ends up in somebody getting electrocuted. Ethan's like, no, I'm going after people who watched my stream all the way through without saying anything or adding any commentary. And you're like, he's sexist towards women. Because people also were like saying mean things to me, but also didn't say anything that I had said that they had said by saying all these like skank and stuff like that. But none of them actually said that. They just said F around, find out, talk to a lawyer or don't. LOL, this is embarrassing for you. Things like that. Like, that's amazing that you would make such a claim.
As best as you can, all right?
When none of them did that.
And Denims.
We're still playing this clip incredible. Really, the guy who, I mean, I already addressed this in my video, and I know critical thinking is hard for these people. This Nico fan, we're still on this.
Denims.
She wants to get with him so
guy,
bad.
The guy who literally 15 minutes earlier.
Basically, just
Here we go. This is still the same. This is the same thing. He's recycling content because he doesn't have anything else to add in this video.
You're supposed to be reacting to one video.
I love you, bro.
Once again, speechless.
You're my hero, bro.
Nothing to say. Go.
Oh wait,
Here's
wait, never mind. No, this is this. No,
That's when a whole fucking you just grandstand on how he's obviously just.
Son.
What are you guys doing?
And then she's showing him like obsessing over the song or something.
You're my hero. Have to say about that.
I don't care about any of this. None of these points are relevant. Okay, here we go.
In a video. Oh, when they say we're live streamers and we're gonna go find Hassan. That's,
now watch this.
Okay.
This is what
right.
She's trying to kind of avoid this.
My W's. I was right.
So this is crazy. She's like, oh, I was right about when she said that nobody in Israel claimed SA when they were captured by Hamas. I can't say it. You know what SA is. She doesn't actually really show Ethan's point here, and then this happens.
This is so stupid to put in here. And then he puts in a video of somebody saying that they were sexually assaulted.
Yeah. By Hamas.
The F-slur in Twitter a day later.
That was not in his content, Nuke, because he didn't care enough to do the bare minimum research.
My lawyer.
This was in the lawsuit. This video is in it. And he plays the full thing. So what is she talking about?
Can't do fucking shit.
Oh, God, dude. Oh, my God.
She literally says the essay that I experienced should never happen to anybody.
Thinks that they are so stupid that he can play a clip where what he's saying is not happening and pretend like it's happening. How are you defending him? He told Hassan that he's fighting in Yemen. That doesn't make you, saying you're fighting or saying you're a soldier doesn't make you a terrorist.
Okay. Here's the problem. Yemen does not, I don't think Yemen has a formal military at all. Hold on. I don't think it's a formal military. Okay, the Yemeni armed forces. Okay. However, since the start of the civil war in 2014, the armed forces have been divided and operate under the control of different factions. So they don't have a solid army anymore. There's many different segments of the military that are fighting against each other. And guess what? They are all terries. Like, does Yemen have anyone in the military that is not a... Let's see. Are all militants considered... Let's see. Not all Yemeni militants are considered terrorists, though. Some groups operating in Yemen are designated as such. While the Houthi movement has been labeled as a terrorist, which he admits that he is a Houthi specifically. That's all you needed to know. Okay? So it's not that he's just a soldier. It's that he's specifically Houthi. Okay? And since he's a Houthi, he is a terrorist. That's kind of the point.
I'm serious. Go talk to the people at the LA Kings protest. Go talk to the people at the anti-ICE protest and ask them if they view themselves as soldiers. Ask them if they feel like they're fighting.
Resistance is resistance against oppression.
That doesn't make you a terrorist. That's not evidence of you being a terrorist. Do you know if you... I made the point that I made. Okay? I don't need to keep circling and saying the same exact point. I mean, here you are. Like, you're literally fighting in this chat right now. I guess you're a terrorist? What you're saying doesn't make any sense. And you're saying it anyways, being a Houthi.
Are you a soldier? Yeah.
I like how this is the epic own. Him saying yes to the question, are you a soldier?
Okay. Yes, Hassan Piker did interview a self-proclaimed pirate who had filmed himself on board a ship held captive by Houthi militants. I mean, it's right here. It's literally right here, lady. He's a Houthi. Okay? So, remember the Houthi? Oh, okay. Yes, Hassan Piker did interview a self-proclaimed pirate. I'll move myself over. Right behind this block. Right here. There you go. Who had filmed himself on a ship being held captive by Houthi militants. Okay? Are Houthis a terrorist organization? On March 5th, 2025, they... Okay, where's the... Can we try again here? Okay, I guess they're just going to do this instead of... Why just share the State Department? I just wanted a simple explanation. Okay, whatever. Anyway, State Department states specifically that Houthi terrorists, right here. Everything about them. Houthis' activities are threatening the security of American civilians, such as Houthis. Okay, so they're talking about this. Accountability for material support to Houthi terrorist activity and related networks. Oh, okay, accountability for it. Gotcha. Well, Hassan might find himself in a lot of trouble. April 9, 2025. Might find himself into a lot of trouble. So, the Houthis are a terrorist organization. Hassan interviewed a Houthi who calls himself a soldier. This isn't rocket science, but you're supposed to be the smart one. I'm supposed to be the dumb one because I'm a hater, right? Just saying.
Is clear-cut evidence of terrorist activity. Oh, if you're stupid enough to fall for this, your brain is Swiss cheese. Your brain is Swiss cheese, and there's no hope for you. What Israel did with the pagers in Lebanon is a good example of terrorism. Yeah, let's ask Hila. Was she a soldier? Did she serve in the IDF?
Now for the...
That is also...
Yes, she did serve in the IDF. The IDF is not a terrorist organization. Kind of a big difference, right?
So I know it's so hard to be partial, or to be impartial, rather. Those are different statements. Reading a chat message of someone saying, I never thought Hassan Nasrallah would be based, and then saying, hey, the reason you think this is because these people are more educated than Western media would want you to think. These people have had formal educations, and they're capable of highlighting the actual reasons why their countries have been destroyed by Western powers, is not the same thing as calling him a good guy. These are different statements. Like, isn't it?
If the West is so bad, go to the East. I don't understand why people are like this. I genuinely don't. People flee the East to the West all of the time to get rid of persecution and to get into a better life. You don't see people fleeing from the West to the East. You just don't. And there's a reason why.
Isn't it crazy that this compilation of self-owned is just me being based? I don't know why he put this in here. This is, he self-owned in the self-owned segment. Nasrallah was a good guy.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah based. I mean, listen.
And again, that's a chat message he's reading. And then he explains the reason why you might be inclined to believe that Hassan Nasrallah is based is because he's formally educated, he's well-informed, and his opinion is that Western powers have destroyed, and like Western imperialism, U.S. imperialism, has destroyed a lot of the Middle East, which is a factually true statement. U.S. imperialism and U.S. involvement in other nations has in fact destabilized those regions.
Here's the thing, right? Iran absolutely had the Ayatollah take over and straight up beat women into submission. In 1979. They made them cover up. They used to wear shorts and tank tops and stuff. You could see the pictures side by side, you know, of how Iran looked a few weeks ago. Obviously not today because they're gone. How they looked a few weeks ago versus pre-1979, where people dressed and looked normal just like in the United States. Women could wear dresses. They could do whatever they wanted. They could drive. I'm doing pretty good, Georgia. How are you? But now, you know, obviously, Ayatollah takes over Iran, and all these women literally have to live exactly the way women fear living in the United States for some reason. Isn't it wild? Like, why is it that these people come in here and pretend that they're pro-women's rights, only to support people who would take them away in a heartbeat? It was like 3-4 weeks ago. The Ayatollah beat the tar out of a woman to death because her hair came out of her hijab. Now, I don't know if she did it on purpose or whatnot, but I don't care because you should be allowed to let your hair out. But that's the people that this girl here is defending.
Regions. And so it's easy to see that and say, why do I think that this person is based? He's responding to that statement. That's a very different statement from Gallant is a good guy and a moderating voice. Those are different things. But this is also the same guy who, in the lawsuit against me.
My lawyer can't do fucking shit.
My lawyer. It's all my lawyer's fault. This is the same guy who, in his lawsuit against me,
at least he's got
which
one.
was like next, but I wanted to show you guys.
Can we
hold? Here it is.
Get to some points here?
You have to understand with Ethan Klein, every accusation.
That's what's funny, right? Like, she's doing this now. Why did she change up her format so much? Talking about all this different stuff, pulling up all these different videos. Why isn't she just watching this all the way through without saying anything?
Is a confession. For him to talk about self-owns and about Hassan Nasrallah being a good guy or whatever the fuck, when in his document he states this, Denims repeatedly claims that Ethan praised Israel's former Minister of Defense, Yoav Gallant.
I don't care about this.
Exactly what it took. By the way, my lawyer
Let's get to your reaction here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, man. Guys, we're $70 away from 14K, and we're only 170 away from 15K. I just want to again say thank you so much to everyone who's donated. If you have 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks that you'd like to help out with, please send a donation my way, ! GFM, GoFundMe. And I really appreciate it. Or EthanKleinLie.com.
Christ.
So, okay, continuing. Will it only be used for the defense fund? Yes. Like I said earlier, for anyone who's donated to the GoFundMe, for anyone who already has, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. But after the papers are served, we have 21 days to respond.
Oh, I thought you meant defense fund.
From my understanding, unless anything
Sorry,
changes
guys,
for any reason.
spent it on that.
So I will be actually able to give you guys updates relatively quickly, and I'll be able to keep you guys posted, hopefully with receipts of everything that my legal team is doing, and be able to show you guys what strategy we'll be employing, etc. So this is also the primary reason why I talked about it already, but like the difference between this GoFundMe and the previous GoFundMe,
she doesn't
defense
have a defense team,
again, I'm
because they would have
defensive.
just told her to not say anything
I have
about
limited
this.
time to respond.
Marbles are gone, people.
Marbles are gone, and because of that,
She absolutely.
So yeah, I really do
unless her
appreciate
defense
everything.
team is
Wouldn't
so
give them a leg up by telling her
incompetent,
publicly. I mean, there's a
she
reason
should
I didn't say
probably sue
anything.
them
There's a reason I didn't say anything. But anywho, thank you so much. By the way, Flocky, thank you for the 20 gift subs. Thank you. Okay. The only place that I have had my reaction to it is
indeed. Casey Tron is often too obliterated on the content to comment on the nuke, and instead stares blankly at her computer screen. In a span of 2 hours and 7 minutes, Casey Tron blanks infrequently in a highly concentrated form through a for nearly 19 minutes, which is 3 minutes more than Casey Tron speaks during her group viewing session. Yeah.
It's on my Twitch
Address
stream.
this.
You go to my channel right now.
Address
you go to my
this.
channel. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Pull it up.
Thank you for the 20 gift
Address
subs.
it.
Thank you so much.
I want to see this.
Continuing. Then did you actually upload your reaction VOD anywhere, or did you just react to it live? My VOD was never re-uploaded to YouTube ever. Any videos that are on YouTube of my reaction absolutely are reposts from fan channels. The only place that I have had my reaction to it is on my Twitch stream. If you go to my channel right now, yes, thank you. Also, I just realized we're hype trained level 10. I didn't even see that. But yeah, if you go to my channel right now, you can see, oh my God, videos, highlights. And here it is. Here's the highlight. This is the highlight that I
I'm glad this is what you're talking about instead of what.
So I actually very politely got up and pissed before I watched the content nuke. I had to get a VOD to say it that long. Well, it's a highlight technically. So
that's something I wanted to hear.
Casey did nothing wrong. Show your support, guys. But yeah, this is the full thing. I didn't want to pee during. I actually have I get sad being away from chat when I start.
I don't understand it. When I tell people that I'm gonna get up, I just say, hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be back. Do you have to describe it that way? Like
streaming, which is why I very rarely get off of screen.
Why be so
people
gross
watch
about
the
it?
stream. No, I don't get off stream that often. It's very rare that I even go and pee. And this was an 8-hour stream in total, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the entirety of this was 8 hours. And so we did our usual 4-hour stream.
Let's not talk about that again, right?
The content nuke was about to come out, which he's going to show. I went and I peed, and then I came back to watch the entirety of it with you guys.
Okay,
so I don't even get up from my chair during the entirety of the content nuke.
The marbles are gone, people.
The marbles are gone.
Oh my God.
Excuse me. Thank you for the 20 gift subs. Okay, back to the video.
Commentary.
I mean, that is transformative in a way. She's smoking weed in reaction to something she's saying that substantially changes the content from the original form. I mean, listen, I haven't read her document. I haven't seen her react, so I can't comment on the legality of...
Yeah, I wouldn't comment on that at all. That would be very, very, very dumb. But are you kidding me? You think that's a reaction going? Like, for real? That's the reaction? You think that's good? That's gnarly.
Her react and whether or not it was considered fair use or not. And in fact, I don't want to, because I want her to have the best opportunity to defend herself in a court of law if she'd like to do that. So I appreciate the support. I'm doing this in support of her and letting her build her case as best as she can.
Reaction by exiting.
That was... Listen, smoke more. Oh my God.
Okay.
She smoked more than she spoke. That one was pretty funny.
It did take a lot of energy for her to get up and leave. There's that.
Funny. That one was not funny.
That was a lot
of
effort.
Reacting by exiting. Oh, boo. 0 out of 10. Oh, dude, boo. God.
Boo what? Boo what? What do you mean boo? Are you saying that Frogan shouldn't have done that? Are you saying that, you should be allowed to leave and let the video play? For real?
It doesn't have to be funny. It's just facts.
He put this here to be funny. That was the purpose of putting this here. That was literally the explicit stated goal earlier in this video. The purpose of putting this text in front of or underneath this image as the very first page of the document.
She literally says, "May I go to the bathroom, guys? Do I have permission? I'll keep the video rolling." Gets up, walks to the bathroom, and proceeds to spend like 20 minutes or so, or something like that, letting the video just play. Are you kidding?
Was to be funny. I'm sorry. He wasn't being funny. This wasn't funny. Saying very smart to say on camera.
What's funny about it? Like, he just showed a fact.
So many clips of Ethan Klein saying things that make this case, in fact, not a slam dunk. If Ethan Klein ever followed Shut the Fuck Up Friday, this case would be, I think, a lot harder to fight. But there are so many clips of Ethan, and even this video, there's so many things in this video that are that really... they hurt his case really, really badly. I'm going to engage genuinely for 1 second, just really quickly. I think it's pretty cut and dry. You all explicitly stated you restream the video to take views away from it. That's stealing. No, basically no. This is an oversimplification for starters. Second, the primary question is going to be about whether or not the content was transformative. Again, I wish I could get into it in more detail, and I want to, and I will eventually. But I'm not trying to be Ethan, my lawyers can't do shit Klein. This is a genuine person. I'm not into the whole thing, but if Ethan's point is that you made money on YouTube and the re-uploads, which I heard online, why doesn't he just claim the revenue? Sorry for the question. Because I didn't upload anything to YouTube.
That's kind of the problem, right? That is one of the biggest issues. He cannot claim on something he's not on. Okay? So he has to take it to court. It's really that cut and dry.
XQC uploaded it and got like 1 million views. Asmongold re-uploaded it, got 1 million views. I didn't re-upload it to YouTube. A fan channel re-uploaded it.
Make this a lot more of a slam dunk.
2,000, 3,000 views.
If she would stay quiet,
currently the only place that I have it up, if anyone would like to go see it and judge it for themselves,
I think Denims does have the best case out of the 3, simply because she's not on YouTube and she's flexing that hardcore. But by doing so, she's elevating those 2 creators to getting sued a lot easier, I guess you could say, or maybe, making it to where they can lose their lawsuit pretty quickly.
A highlight on my channel. It's a highlight on my Twitch channel. So, sorry,
under the bus?
Are these all just copyright suits? Wait, no, this chatter is good. No, session. This chatter is good. Sorry about the ban. Are all these copyright suits, are these all copyright suits? Because, man, he should not be posting this video if he wants to win. I don't know what compelled him to upload this video. I would much rather her speak on her case or her lawyer speak on her case and whether or not this matters, whether or not getting up and peeing for 2 minutes matters in a fair use case. I'm not going to comment. Unfortunately for Ethan Klein, he can't use it against me because, like a good little girl, I went to the bathroom to relieve myself, as he states.
The problem is you don't say anything during his entire video and you watch the full thing.
Before watching the content nuke. So, brutal for him.
Up next is Denims, relying on you to stay.
0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. Oh,
okay, so when she says 0 out of 10, she
good.
just thinks that it was okay for Frogan to get up, go leak out, and then go bleed out her. No, I'm not even going to say it. Icky. Yeah.
It's not good. She remembered to write her name.
She thinks that's okay.
That, a community member gave when I had a P.O. box. Or maybe it was at a TwitchCon. I'm blanking right now, but that is what? It's not good. And then also he puts like the chair, but like I don't understand I do understand. I understand the purpose of lying. Lying is OP. But you can pull up the highlight that I have on my channel right now of me reacting to the entirety of the content nuke. And as you can see, there's not a single moment where the chair is on the screen. If you have any concerns about...
shows you specifically in the content nuke. He shows you sitting there the entire time, fast forwarded, without you saying a word. That's the point he made. But he's talking about other content and how you react to, how you just get up and do stuff. He's not lying. He never specifically said it was only one single video that you were doing this on. He's showing the example as to, I didn't want people to necessarily do it, but I knew you would. Well, how did he know? Because you've done it before. See, you're trying to rewrite his video, but his video was pretty clear as to what it was he was upset about. That's the issues.
It's up. It's up.
Can you imagine?
Gotcha, bitch. Go ahead, proceed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
See, does this look like the video? Specifically?
7. What's happening?
Launch.
5.
Launch.
4. 3.
Saved. H3H2. Product.
Okay. And then this is the video starting, right?
There's this one. Oh, okay, the video starting. She is showing this one.
This is when the show ends, and then this is when the video starts. And then here's when it ends.
Okay.
I watched the entirety of it, and I was there the whole time. But yeah, put a chair in there, because why not?
Okay, but that wasn't the point he was making, so you just lied. Good job.
Stay live. Denim said, quote, well, guys.
It's not. It's, as some of you might have realized, we're relying on you to stay live. Is very
Or at least show him saying, this is her getting up out of her chair during the content nuke. You could at least prove that.
Really me reading a chat message. But again,
would be easy.
I'm not trying to become Ethan, my lawyer can't do shit Klein. So no comment.
Content. Your content?
No comment. That's crazy, by the way, that I was able to get food and pee in 2 minutes time. That was kind of iconic. I must have not washed my hands. Are you even watching the nuke? No, because it literally says count. And
gross.
This is, dude, thank you to the me of the past that put all this fucking ugly shit on the screen. Content nuke drops at 1:30, countdown to 1:30 p.m. Like you can see, it literally shows that this is not during the nuke. This is during the podcast. This is during their live show podcast. You know, the same podcast that he said, you're allowed to have all of my IP or whatever, this section. I was pissing. I left the screen open and I was pissing when I was watching the H3 podcast, the H3 live podcast, this same H3 live podcast.
Here's to all
so
the
he was
industrial
live, and so you're watching him live. Do you see how that literally pulls views away? Good job admitting that. That was really dumb. Like, you know, if you were to wait a little bit, that'd probably make your case a little bit easier. But you're live at the same time he's live, showing his full live stream. and then you walk away during it. It's not like you could go back and readdress it, or you could have paused it and been behind the live stream a little bit, but you chose none of those.
Entrepreneuring spirits out there. I am opening our IP to the world. This is a message with peace and love.
You can now make your own H3 podcast. That's right, everyone.
I guess that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. No. Gotcha. You can't make a fake H3 podcast, although you probably could actually, because I don't think anyone would mistake it.
I mean, if it's a parody, you can do whatever you want.
Anyone would mistake it. So our IP is open. I got inspired by Hassan. He has the Hassan Industrial Complex. I want the Ethan Industrial Complex. I think it's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
And it's actually crazy how like many people are seemingly making a decent living from having their own clips channels of him. So if you want to cut up clips from the podcast, from our members live, from anything with me in it, go for it, man. Monetize it. I will not claim. I will not remove. I will not do anything. I mean, to be fair, it's basically been my policy. I don't claim or remove anything really at all.
But now you're making it explicit.
Yeah. The only time I'll remove something is like if it's just a wholesale re-uploading of like an episode.
Except it wasn't.
Honestly, this could damn Ethan pretty well. That could actually be a pretty good point that she makes here. Ethan's like, I don't care. You can clip anything. You can monetize it. I don't care. That was a pretty stupid thing for him to say. So maybe it's not quite the slam dunk in general. But the point he's trying to make, I fully agree with, where you're doing that stuff in general, where you're just re-uploading and clipping against it. I've been against it very consistently. And like I said, a year or two ago, I made videos that were not involving Ethan whatsoever. It was about Fair and Balanced and what was that girl's name that kept uploading him? Something Wolf or something like that, just would clip videos. And I'm like, hey, this is, you can't do that. And really, you can't do that. This video may very well actually bite Ethan in the rear pretty hard. Now, he could say specifically, I never said you could upload the full video without changing it. Clipping it technically does transform it, depending on the context. I don't think it transforms it very much if you just clip it. But he's given permission for it. So he's screwed on that. That being said, no, not Sniper Wolf. That was a different thing. It was, she wasn't very popular. She had like 4,000 subs, I think, or 14,000 subs, maybe even 40,000. Somewhere in that whole thing. She clipped Nick Rekieta's videos. But she started clipping other people's videos, and people were getting upset about it and going, hey, we didn't say you could clip it. And that's the thing. When you give permission for people to do something and they do it, and then you come back later and sue them, you can't do that. You can't do that at all. This case still may be different, though, because it was the full video unclipped. So it might not bite him in the butt all that much. But now, if he tries to get her for anything else or anybody else anything, he's made his bet on that, for sure.
Isn't a wholesale re-uploading, obviously, as evidenced by the fact that my stream was 4 hours long and his content nuke was 2 hours long. So it literally couldn't have been a wholesale re-upload, just by numbers alone. More importantly, again...
Well, it depends. It does depend, because if during the whole time you're watching this stream and you get through his, then you start doing something else after, that's different. You know what I mean? Because you're still doing his whole stream uninterrupted, right? Now, if you're commenting and pausing throughout the whole thing, you got nothing to worry about, right?
He then says, like, anything with me on it. And he later tried to clarify and say, well, I was just talking about the podcast. That's the reason why I'm saying I was watching.
He also catches you saying, do not let him make money off this. You know what I mean?
Podcast when I got up to pee. The thing that he opened the doors for, if you were peeing for 2 hours.
It's going to be a crazy case for her. She's going to be the hardest person to sue for sure.
I know it's hard to follow. I know it's hard to follow.
The other two
but we weren't talking about what he's suing me for. We were talking about me getting up and peeing during the live show. And I was clarifying that he opened up his live podcast. I know following things is just so hard when you don't want to listen at all, but like, we're not commenting about that right now.
Take a look at the title of her Twitch stream.
Again, for legal reasons, no comment. Nothing to say.
Ethan Klein Hassan Content Nuke Watch Party. A watch party? I don't think that's fair use. Now, Denims, of course...
I'm not going to litigate this part on the internet. I'm not going to litigate this part on the internet. Nope.
Queen of self-owned...
This part is amazing, and this part we can comment on a little bit. I'm so excited.
Never disappoints.
I want to be clear on my opinion on like filler content and stuff. Like, I think filler content, like, you shouldn't do it. I know I do it. Oh, sorry. Before we continue, really quickly, I'm going to call back again to what I said.
Yeah, this is going to be the video of her literally saying that you shouldn't be stealing people's content. So they're both, they both put their foots in their mouths pretty hard.
Earlier about how Reactgate during this era of Reactgate, you have to understand, and people who were around at the time knew this, and Ethan knows this, but he's being disingenuous here and pretending like this was a conversation about legality, but this was a conversation about morality, and it always was a conversation about morality. That's why we're at 1721.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's about morality or not. If you're showing that you're like, hey, I don't think this is the right thing to do, but then you're participating in something you don't think is the right thing to do, a judge is going to consider that and go, okay, double standards. It could very well influence the judge, but it's you literally openly saying, nope, this isn't okay, and then you're doing it.
That's why around the same time, this guy, Lemini, the guy who put together that video on the Kennedy shooting.
It's possible the judge will throw it out. I mean, it's definitely possible. Don't get me wrong. Copyright stuff like this is difficult. The only thing is I think their statements of them saying, we're going to steal this content pretty much and do not support Ethan Klein. Let's do this to damage him. I think that has so much weight to it. More weight than I would say anything that's gone into a copyright lawsuit. But look at what happened with Sargon of Akkad's. You know what I mean? Like, he managed to win that one. And I think Ethan just brings a little bit more weight in general. So, I don't know. Most copyright laws, though, do end up in the favor of the people stealing the content. It is what it is. So, it would not surprise me if it gets worse.
When he
because
talks about
it would be very
say?
Chinese.
He says,
reacting to my video, but I do mind when they play the entirety of my video. A face cam in the corner or the occasional interruption does nothing to address that issue. My video is still being played from beginning to end in someone else's stream or video. It's neither ethical nor necessary to feature the entirety of someone else's work, or they could do the bare minimum and ask for permission. Something that.
Why would a creator talking about legality ask about the bare minimum and asking for permission? It's because he wasn't talking about legality. It's because the conversation wasn't focused on legality. The conversation was focused on morality or like.
Again, completely, totally worthless argument.
Reacts. That was always the conversation. That's the same conversation being had here in this debate. You have to understand. This is not a conversation about whether or not something is or is not fair use. This is a conversation about what feels like.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way most of the time.
An ethical react and what feels like an unethical react. It has absolutely nothing to do with legality. This debate that happened years ago during Reactgate had absolutely.
And a judge is going to listen to your arguments and go, well, morally, it's not correct. So therefore, I should probably rule in favor of morality. You know what I mean? You're making his case, you're making the judge's decision a lot easier. That's the problem. Like, you don't understand how laws are formed. Laws are always formed with the intent of morality being number one. The problem is they end up not being half the time.
Nothing
which
to
sucks.
Do with legality. Okay? All right. I want to be clear on my opinion on like filler content and stuff. Like, I think filler content, like, you shouldn't do it. I know I do it as a React stream. And I try to do it only when I do it with like Vox videos or Vice videos and stuff like that, because at least I'm not like directly ripping from one content creator and not like a whole team and stuff. And most of those videos have like 5 million views. I only get like 500 viewers. Like, again, this doesn't matter in the context of fair use or in the context of a legal argument, because it's not a legal argument. It's a conversation about ethical React. Reactgate was always not, it was never about the law of fair use. It was always about whether or not something was ethical. It was always whether or not something was an ethical React. All right?
This argument's so stupid.
You're fried, chatter. You know, our law is an extension of our moralities, right?
Stupid.
So they aren't that different. Absolutely incorrect, okay? Just because our legal system tries to work around our moral system doesn't make them not that different. Jaywalking is suddenly an abhorrent crime, an abhorrent, morally reprehensible crime to jaywalk. But cheating on your spouse is totally fine because it's not illegal. Just use your brain. Come on, please. Just use your brain. Okay. But yeah, this is a conversation about ethical React.
You have a good
and I think,
night,
again, all of us here can agree.
I appreciate you stopping by.
It would feel worse as a YouTube content creator, ethically, to watch your video get ripped and then repost it on YouTube and get millions of views.
Once I'm able to stream like 8 hours a day, I promise
and then seeing that somebody else reacted to a segment and then uploaded it on YouTube. Right? Like, I would gamble, maybe I'm incorrect, that the news anchor feels next to nothing seeing Hassan Reels and shorts and whatever. I would argue that a lot of YouTube content creators have been really upset with their content being used. A lot of content creators. This is a conversation about ethical Reacts. This is not illegal. I'm done saying the same thing over and over and over again. You guys understand. Like, I'm taking maybe 50 views from the video. It's a lot harder to feel, I guess, bad about that. Whereas, like, I would feel very bad about doing that to like a single content creator. The majority of people say that they literally wouldn't watch Hell's Kitchen unless I was streaming. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm reacting hard enough. You know, I'm sure if you click on a random part of the video, I might not be saying anything, sure, whatever. And I might.
That's the problem. I not be saying anything. Like, you're watching Hell's Kitchen. You need to be, like, you can't just do that. Like, that's kind of wild to me.
Walk away from the screen, but it's about like the communal thing. It's why like fucking Toast started streaming Death Note. It's not about the actual show at a certain point. It's the same reason you watch shows without a conversation about fair use. Of course, everybody knows watching anime or watching TV shows, it's on shaky ground. Watching anything produced by news networks, or sorry, not news networks, like anything on that plays on cable, or anime, you probably shouldn't watch it, right? Because they will go after you. Because again, who wants to fight Disney? Even if your work was in fact transformative, and you watched like a Disney movie, or you watched parts of a Disney movie and you uploaded it to YouTube, and it was very transformative, you want to go up against Disney, right? Is this a sarcastic post?
Yeah, see, I mean, you just really can't do that. Now, here's the thing, right? There are ways that you could probably do it, honestly. It's not the most crazy, ridiculous like thing in the world. I think people should be able to watch stuff together. But the issue is whenever you're watching it and reacting to it in general, you're showing people an episode that they would typically have to pay for. Now, there's ethical issues. Like, a good example, if I wanted to watch Yu Yu Hakusho, I feel like I should absolutely be able to do that. That show is now 35 years old. When did Yu Yu Hakusho drop? Was it was it before or after I was born? Let's see. Released. It was actually literally just days before I was born. Okay. 1992. Oh, wait. Series. Anime. Yeah, okay. 1992. Gotcha. October 10th, 1992. So, Yu Yu Hakusho, greatest anime ever, by the way. I feel like I should be able to do it. It's 30 years old, and it's not like it's collecting dust. Nobody's watching it anymore. It's not streaming anywhere, really.
Any content
I don't
ethical?
think.
I'm a journalist who sees this on has been ripped cable news coverage.
What you do?
Oh, okay, so I don't think it's sarcastic. It drives me crazy because those views could be going towards media outlets. I don't think this person is being sarcastic. I think they might be fried. Okay. With your friends, you want to watch it with other people. A lot of people go to watch streamers on Twitch for their React content almost as a curator. So they don't actually want to go through YouTube themselves and watch a bunch of videos, and they probably never will go through YouTube and click a bunch of videos. They like going to Twitch because they like to have it as like, this streamer is curating fun content that I want to watch. I cannot comprehend why Ethan Klein would make me look so fucking based by introducing all of these clips. He accidentally made me look so based. Someone sent me this. This is amazing. He made me look so based.
At any creator, make like
that he made XQC agree with me.
God,
it's a red flag for me. It's
XQC does not agree.
A red flag.
Sorry, not this. Sorry, he's talking about eyeliner being a red flag.
Yeah.
Sorry, not that, but that was pretty.
Okay.
In general, okay, reaction, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't really matter. The efforts.
Sorry, thank you guys for not banning this guy. No, got banned. Never mind, I don't really care enough anymore.
Putting in for people to cut them off or kind of fuck them over in the algorithm, whatever. The reality is that it's a pretty good exchange overall, and the videos always will thrive super hard unless you're deliberately cutting them off. But even then, it's what it is. Because I've always said this, and I'll say
fall into my eye.
The interaction between a video and watching it is genuinely good. And I had the stats, actually, you had the stats last time, I have to prove it. Like, it's genuinely good, but it's okay. I don't mind not. Oh, no.
I can't understand half of the points that XQC is trying to make here. It's so, like, just jargon nonsense. Anyway, XQC, just to get around this, XQC pretty much says he thinks that Ethan doesn't really have much of a chance on copyright because of how difficult it is in general, and he probably knows this. He's trying just draining them financially. And that's a good point. But again, I think Ethan would be ethically wrong to be doing it that way. I think he really needs to try forward for the lawsuit and set some serious precedent on re-uploading people's content. I don't think it's okay to be doing that.
Oh no. Dude, it's crazy. It's okay. How?
I'll do as much Pepega translating as I can do. Here is him, because XQC is obviously going to be predisposed to wanting to hate me or wanting to side with Ethan, right? There's more to gain there. So here he makes a stand against me in a way that makes very little sense. Let's watch.
You can do to rationalize something and make the worst argument possible. Because when I rationalize it, at least because I'm not a fuckhead, I have a good like entry level like just thought process. Because it's a lot of people that
but he is
that is just a stupid argument.
Have like 5 million views. I only get like 500 viewers. And then like the Vox views, or sorry, the Vox and Vice videos that I was talking about versus how many views my videos or my stream gets versus how many video views the YouTube channel gets or whatever. It's again, this was a conversation about ethical React. Okay. This was never a conversation about
get off the
someone
XQC
gets very
thing. I don't want to hear any more involving XQC because it doesn't matter.
Let me see green that he and for Twitch viewers.
Good God, you're still on this.
For people, a lot of people.
Whatever, and all the live with the chat rather than just the streamer shit. The streamer shit.
Like, she's right, he's right, she's right, she's wrong, but she's still right.
It's gonna be relevant. I gotta keep it relevant.
Traveler sussed.
Well.
At my friend.
Watch the stream.
Can we get
this post? Obviously, 2025.
My God.
Said, like, I'm not gonna cover this. It's the same way.
I think she also likes XQC. I think both XQC and Hassan don't want anything to do with her, really. But clearly, she's definitely into him. Can we please skip this and go back to the criticism that you're supposed to be talking specifically about this?
Twitch, curated Twitch content on Twitch.
But you're so
aren't necessarily people that would be watching content on YouTube.
Dude,
while he was talking about that, and there's a bunch of question marks in the chat. No, everyone is confused what the fuck he's talking about. That's a classic. That's the classic XQC viewing experience. Anyways, notice how he has nothing to say, no comment. The thing with Twitch versus YouTube is that these are like different market segments.
Oh my God.
I mean, a good sort of like experiment you can do. How many of you guys, when you're on your phone or you get home or you want to play a video game and you want some entertainment on the side, how many of you open YouTube first and how many of you open Twitch first? And how many of you never open Twitch and how many of you never open YouTube? You have an entertainment platform that you prefer to go to first. And in some extreme cases, you don't even want
different platforms though. Here's the thing. The platform has nothing to do with it because here's the deal. If Yu Yu Hakusho was on Netflix or if Yu Yu Hakusho was on Hulu, it doesn't matter which one. If I want to watch that, that's where I would go, right? If I wanted to specifically stream it. It's not about the platform. Nobody cares about the platform, okay? That's not an argument. People want to watch the content where they want to watch the content. And if one's more convenient, they're going to go to that one. Which, if their favorite's Twitch, now they're going to go there because it's like, oh, well, instead of going to YouTube to watch Ethan's, how about I go to yours, Denims? Because you're already on Twitch and I could just watch it there.
Fuck, I don't care about any of this stuff. Then some people might go to YouTube, some people might just close it, and just be like, I'll just listen to some music. The point that I'm making in that is, and this is a point that Ethan Klein made when he was talking about how he judges Twitch streamers and YouTubers differently, right? Because they're different market segments. The average Twitch viewer or the average Twitch chatter might not be someone that spends a lot of time on YouTube, right? Now, again, this is not about legality. This is about like market segments. Well, part of it is about legality because then you can talk about market substitutes and everything. But I don't want to get again too deep into the actual lawsuit because
I use YouTube throughout the day. I use Twitch in the evening.
I would rather leave the lawsuit to my lawyer. But yeah, all I'm talking about is the fact that what I was discussing in that interview or like in that debate.
You're discussing your lawsuit pretty much. Come on, let's get on with it.
Not going to watch the
Jesus.
If someone watches content on someone else's stream, there is a very low likelihood that they're going to go watch it separately and give you like the view or the like. Or the people who are watching content on Twitch, curated Twitch content on Twitch, aren't necessarily people that would be watching content on YouTube. The worst part is there are other.
She's got a good point there. To a degree, I understand what she's trying to say. But again, if they wanted to watch anything H3H3, they know they'd have to go to YouTube to watch it. But if they see you doing it, especially uninterrupted, they're going to come to Twitch if that's their preferred platform. The issue is because you're doing it uninterrupted, that's why people are less incentivized to go over to YouTube and do it. That's robbing him of views that would potentially go over there. You gotta be smarter about this.
There are people who've watched this clip and they had nothing to say. They had no comment because again, nothing I said there was incorrect. What I'm talking about there is about.
No, it's not that it's incorrect. It's that you're missing the point. You know, people are gonna prefer Twitch. Some people do, but they're wanting to see Ethan's what he's saying. You have to add your own commentary to it. You have to. And if you're not doing that, that's the issue.
Ethics and about the type of viewer that goes to Twitch versus YouTube. It's not about fair use.
But she doesn't want to argue that.
None of it is about whether or not you're legally allowed to do something. If I tell you,
breadtubers are not
jaywalking isn't immoral.
They're not smart.
There is nothing morally wrong with jaywalking. That's not me telling you you should go jaywalk and get a ticket from a cop. That's not me saying that that's legal to do. That's me saying
there is something morally wrong with jaywalking, though. That's why it's illegal. It's so you don't walk out in front of a car and somebody has to live with the rest of their life knowing that they, probably while they had kids in their car, they just saw a man go splat. There's something morally wrong about it because it also infringes on drivers' rights to be able to drive properly. There's morality there. You just got to be smart enough to understand what the morality is.
Immoral about jaywalking. That's it. That's the whole sentiment. That's the whole statement. Me saying there is something more immoral about the re-upload onto YouTube is very different from me saying whether or not that's legal. Those are different statements.
Moral doesn't
I'm
mean...
stealing this content because I want to. I
didn't say that.
Coping, even though I know it's stealing. When people watch it with me, they're definitely not going to go watch the original. Like, you are way too...
No comment.
What does that
no
even
comment.
mean?
Again, I have to repeat it as many times as I must, but I refuse to be Ethan. My lawyer can't do shit, Klein.
What are levels of morality? Such a dumb statement.
Copyright.
Worm footage, however, this is the fairest use. We need a new category legally. This is the fairest use. Yeah, we're transforming Meerkat. Oh my god, I just want to squeeze you until you explode. Did you hear that, Meerkat? Yes, Meerkat.
Yeah, it should be right. This video right here is super, like...
We get to fight Ethan Klein.
Proper.
In a court of law. Now,
is this the end of the video? Okay, so she doesn't hardly show any of it. That's fantastic. Absolutely ridiculous. This was a very, 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 very bad video. Yeah, she just crapped on herself is all. I mean, it's... unbelievably ridiculous. So many points that she refused to acknowledge by Ethan. I think that's quite an issue. I think that's a massive issue. But all that does is reinforce what I think what I think is really going on with her. And she's not confident. She's not confident at all in her own ability to win this lawsuit. Otherwise, she would have addressed a lot of the issues that Ethan had made. She would have shown a lot more of the video. She wouldn't have skipped around so much, and she wouldn't have brought up other things, and she wouldn't have changed her format either. Why not just sit there and react to the video? Why actually do a proper react? Why'd you do that? If you were so confident in your conviction of what you did during the content nuke, why wasn't your video more inspired by that format? I'm really confused. If someone was suing me for something, right? And I thought I wasn't in the wrong, I would do it again to show that I'm not in the wrong. I would at least back up, what it is that I'm putting down. But she didn't do that in this stream at all. Isn't that fascinating? Ethan Klein is correct. She's the queen of his cell phone. I absolutely agree. No, I don't think Ethan has just a slam dunk case. I really don't think it's just super cut and dry. Especially with her showing the video of him saying that he doesn't care about, people re-uploading his content and monetizing it. That's going to be a tough one. That could really bite him in the rear end. But we also have her saying the exact opposite. She's on video saying that she doesn't think it's right to upload somebody else's content like that and not be commenting over it, and that it's immoral. So you have two people arguing the opposite ends. This may just involve the lawsuit. The judge may just look at this and be like, you're all idiots, get out. And it go nowhere, which would be a victory for the three. But Ethan's not particularly smart. If he were, he would have apologized to Jordan Peterson. He would apologize to the quartering. And he would come back to common sense. But he doesn't do that. He wants to be the king leftist. He's fighting the other leftists to be king. Right now you have two people at the top. Hassan Piker and Ethan Klein. While those two are duking it out, they're not duking it out to be morally correct, per se. They're both duking it out to become the new king of the left, I guess you could call it. Not really literally, but to be the number one creator and commentator for that side of the politics. Then he's going to go back to talking about how the Jeremy, the quartering piece in his basement. You know what I mean? I think that would make a good name. He should change his channel name to instead of the quartering, the Jeremy. There you go. That's 200 IQ play right there. But anyway, guys, I don't know. What do you guys think of all this? Who do you think's winning this lawsuit? Already on top of the leftists. Yeah, I'll just sell out all my principles and become the new king of the left there. That'd be great. Probably pays well. I imagine it pays well. Look at how much money these guys are making. All of them live in multi-millionaire mansions in LA. Shoot, I wouldn't need any more than $1 million. If I had $1 million, I'd have everything I needed. I'd buy literally in Oklahoma, for a $500,000 home, you can get probably 20, 30 acres of land and a 4,000 square foot home. That'd be like $500,000. It would be 200 square feet bigger than Hassan's place. But, you live in Oklahoma. That's why it's so cheap. So, things go a lot farther here. I wouldn't need that crazy amount of money. That's all I would really care about. And then, yeah, I'd just be chilling. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? What? Well, you want that? Do you give it? Give. Hey, sit. He's a good boy. Here come. Okay, now stay. Go get it. That thing is shredded up. I need to get him a new tire. He loves that tire, though. But anyway, guys. So, Denim could... Oh, yeah. Denim's probably going to do that. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. No, it could go either way. I'm 50-50 on it. I actually don't care who wins. I'm just here for the drama and to make fun of these morons fighting it out. I think that's the best part. That's my opinion. But anyway, guys, I got to hop off here. I got to give these kiddos a bath and get them put to bed. They are rowdy tonight. So, lots and lots of energy is what it takes to get these kiddos down. That is for sure. I'm not 100% sure yet. I do want to do it. I do want to do an entire react over Keffels. It's just with, next thing I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and incorporate the whole Iran thing if it's still going on like crazy next week. I think it's going to simmer down now. So I may have missed the boat on Iran because I don't think Iran's going to be able to do anything. And if they don't, it's just over for them. It's clear defeat. So, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, guys. Thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share if there's anybody in here that is not subscribed for some reason. Give it a like and definitely share this video out. And yeah, guys. I'll see you guys here in the next live stream. Later. Nope, wrong thing again. Any of these? Okay. I guess I closed out somehow. What happened?